They're calling it a micromobility unit. They've been working on it for a while, and they're teaming up with a venture capital company to give it, what, $100 million in funding?
That's right, $100 million to work with, and honestly, this sort of reads to me like a throwback to, I don't know, like something like 5 or 8 years ago when you were seeing car makers sort of left and right trying to launch these micromobility efforts. We've seen a lot of those efforts kind of fall by the wayside. I think this is an attempt on Rivian's part to try and do what others have failed, and do so in a way that avoids any criticism of kind of taking their eye off the ball, because they themselves have, quite a bit of issues to work through with their EV manufacturing and scaling up that business. So you spin off this micro mobility unit, give it a small bit of money to work with, pair it with a VC firm, and see what you can do, see if you can succeed where others have not to this point.
Greg, you said give them a small bit of money to work with. Presumably it is expensive to launch a venture like this. They have some liquidity. They have some liquidity from Volkswagen, for example. How patient will that capital be, and will it be enough?
It's a great question. I mean, I do think that this is, of course, going to be a lot less costly than developing, say, an electric truck or SUV. Like is in Rivian's portfolio and its main business, but it is not cheap to bring even smaller little micro cars or say an electric bike. These are projects that are sort of pale in comparison to full-blown passenger cars. But that's part of the challenge that some of these companies have had is you really need to get costs in line, and that's something that Rivian has had issues with its trucks and SUVs and its delivery vans. In order to get people into electric vehicles, we're going to need to make them more affordable. And I think just sort of across the board in the US and Europe, we're seeing a lot more challenges with pulling that off than you're seeing in, say, China.